Once you've completed tracing your artwork, it's time to turn it into paths so that you can continue to clean it up and make changes to it in Illustrator. If you don't turn it into paths, you run the risk of actually having to re-render it every time you resize it or move it or rotate it or whatever you do to it. And so in this movie, I'm going to show you how to take a tracing object like you have here and expand it to be regular paths. The easy way to do this is just to select it and then go to Expand right here. When you click on Expand, it turns it into paths almost instantly. And you can scale this up or down any way you want. And it's just a regular vector object like you would see in Illustrator normally. You can make changes to this by coming in, double-clicking, selecting individual pieces, changing colors, rotating, deleting, whatever you need to do. This is a great way to clean up your traces after you've completed them. Because, like I said before, you're not going to get all the way there with your trace. The bad part about this is, if I were to save this image and come back tomorrow, I wouldn't have the ability to change the tracing settings that I applied to it. So my recommendation is actually to do this. I'll back up and we'll wait for this to render. Once it renders out, what I'm going to do is save a copy of it. So File, Save a Copy. And I'm just going to save this out to my desktop and we'll call this Expanded Car Paths. Save. Hit OK. And so I've saved that out there. I'm going to go open it up. There's my expanded car paths. Open. Once it renders out, you should see the exact same object on your artboard as you saw before. And so now I can take this copy and expand it, turn that into paths, save it. I've also got the live tracing object here, so anytime I need to make changes, I can open up the image trace panel and I can make a change to it. So for instance, if I wanted to switch this to, let's say, the color, and it would go through and it would render it out in color, just like that. And now I have the color version. I also have the black and white expanded version, and I have one version that I can go in and tweak anytime I want, and then another version I can quickly and easily send out to clients, change, scale, put into other pieces of artwork, and not have to worry about that render time. Basically, expanding the artwork is a great way to gain more control over it and also at the same time speed up your workflow and get around the need for rendering this stuff each and every time you make a change to it. But as I said, I recommend saving a copy of it so that you don't have to worry about overwriting your original trace settings and never being able to get them back.